Welcome back, guys. Hope everybody's having a good week. It was a bit of a slower week for me, and I got to admit, I am not mad about it. Um, I'm so overwhelmed with all the stuff I already have and have to donate and figure out what to do with. So here is the first store. I found some old razors that were still floating around. These are great for care packages, or, of course, if you need razors. So I dug around a little bit up here looking for some more of those deodorants. Those are really nice for care packages. I did strike out. I did not find any of them. To be honest, the only things I bought this week were the razors, and I did find a couple more of the tea light candles. I did come across a whole bunch of the Father's Day cards, some of the party trays, a lot of calendars. But like I said, I'm so overwhelmed with what I already have. And like the Father's Day cards would be great for to donate to a school. But of course, that would mean holding on to them until next year. And I really just don't have the space or capability to hold on to any items that much longer. I still already have a lot of things that I'm holding on for seasonal to donate when the organizations, etc., can use them. Now, I was really, really disappointed. I went to one of my favorite stores, which is not horribly close to me, so I don't get to go to it very often. And for the first time since January, I could not find a single penny item. I ended up running into the manager before I left this store, who told me that they had had a penny shopper in there that was not very pleasant to deal with, and that she had accused the cashier of hiding the pennies so that she could buy them all herself, and it upset the cashier, and that she had decided that they weren't going to deal with it. That unfortunately, that meant that they were going to clean the whole store up, make sure there was no pennies on the sales floor, and that would be that. So unfortunately, what that means is that store now isn't a good spot to penny shop, that it will be next to impossible, if not impossible, to find any pennies in that store. And all because somebody didn't understand what penny shopping is and how to go about doing it. Point being is, if you're new to penny shopping, please make sure you do more than just see a couple visuals and run out and try to find them. Make sure you understand the coupon policy, what exactly a penny item is, and the process it should take, and that they are supposed to pull them off the sales floor. And just in general, be nice. It doesn't cost you anything to be nice. Be grateful for the penny items you do find. Okay, I'm going to stop ranting about that and go into something much more fun. So I forgot to take pictures before we went into the animal shelter, so I've just included a cart with the pictures of the dog treats and a couple pictures of the cuties at the animal shelter, which I know I said I was going to stop ranting, but who drops a 12-year-old dog off at the animal shelter? Like, how does that happen? But anyway, um, so here is the enormous collection of fingernail polish I ended up with. I had wanted to do little kits, little gift bags for um, the little girl's birthday party. But I ended up figuring out that I thought I had like maybe 5 different colors and like a lot of each color. But apparently I have like 38 different colors. So we just did random selections of 5 in the bag for the birthday party. And then as well, I didn't take pictures of the crepe paper and the birthday supplies or the um, arts and crafts stuff, the wooden panels and stuff. So I've included older videos of where I got the stuff from originally. Um, but I managed to find enough wooden projects and the paints and all of that stuff to go with it. The only thing I didn't have to give them for the party was paintbrushes, so they'll have to buy paintbrushes themselves. But we did have all the balloons, streamers, all kinds of decorations, lots of arts and crafts, plenty of stuff for gift baskets. We even included the picture frames with the name tags so that they can have a nameplate for each kid, which I thought, I don't know, I thought that would be kind of cute. I didn't give them these ones, these little placards. The ones I had were the beach themes ones with the flip flops and stuff, but I couldn't find the video where I pulled those. So, oh, and actually, um, I know a lot of people found a lot of chalk when we were getting these wooden crafts, but I never found any chalk, so I did not include chalk with this. And quite a few of the projects are chalkboard themed. So they'll probably also need to buy a little bit of chalk to go with these. But this stuff was really fun to get together. I know when my kids were young, it was a huge expense to do birthday parties, to the point that my kids always made their own pinatas, which they enjoyed. They made a craft of it and put the pinata together and all that stuff. And I don't quite remember which kid's birthday party it was, but one year they did SpongeBob theme. So they did SpongeBob, I think Squidward, and Patrick, which was great. And they all turned out really cute. Problem is, my kids are very competitive. And for some reason, they decided to compete on who could make the strongest pinata. So, yeah, by the time they beat those suckers apart, everything in it was destroyed. Even the hard candies were just powder. Yeah, that didn't work out too well. Yeah, that ranks right up there when my mom found a bunch of clearance confetti toys, um, and brought them to one of my kids' birthdays. And the neighborhood we lived in at the time had loads of kids, and they all played together. You couldn't really invite some of them and not all of them. So it was like 30 kids running around shooting off confetti toys in my house. There was confetti everywhere. The only thing I can think of that was harder than that to clean up was a mess I actually made myself. I'm sure there's a name for it, but I'm one of those people that will eat in my sleep. And apparently, one night I decided to go get one of the great big bags of like Fruity Pebbles, like the generic cereal. I woke up to what could only be described as a Fruity Pebbles angel. Like, I guess I had just dumped it over my head in my sleep. So I woke up with it in my hair, all over my pillow, in my sheets, and then there was a um, heating vent right beside my bed. So it went down into the vent. So then, even after I had like cleaned it all up, later it would be like the fan would come on and Fruity Pebbles would come shooting out of the vent. It was one of those things kind of like glitter when you're sure you have it all cleaned up, but then somehow it just reappears from somewhere. I'm not sure where. But anyway, the getting all the stuff together for the birthday party was loads of fun. And I did actually figure out my neighbor does his version of like a giving box, but it's like a whole shed. And I found out that he actually has a whole freezer set up. So I didn't know at the time when we did freezers last week, but I could have donated a bunch of stuff over there, and I'll have to keep that in mind for next time. Now, some of these things in the pictures for the birthday party are from Dollar General as well. So if you don't recognize some of the penny items, that's why. I have not seen any penny lists come down for Dollar Tree this week. But there is a pretty good penny list for Dollar General, as well as they're doing 5 off 25, I believe, all week long, and starting a clearance event. So you might want to check out what we got going on in Dollar General.